maybe you guys could reach out to some of the bigger YouTube channels to get the word out on Ergo, i.e. Altcoin Daily, BitBoy, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, well, of course, one of our main objectives is to spread the word about Ergo, and this is the reason for us putting together an extensive marketing plan that we'll be executing starting next year. Part of which, like I said, is marketing different products, also more PR and more exposure to mainstream crypto media at the very least about Ergo and about everything that's going on with Ergo. About reaching out to other and to big YouTube channels. Well, yes, I do agree that we should reach out, and I will reach out, and we will reach out to YouTube influencers. We just have to be really careful and selective about who we reach out to, because there are some YouTube influencers that, and just regular influencers, not YouTube, but just and working influencers in general could be a double-edged sword. Okay. So there are, for example, some influencers in Cardano that are great, like Ada Whale. He's a great. I think it's a he. It's crypto Twitter. So an anonymous. I call him Mr. Whale. Mr. Whale is a great influencer. He gives a lot of value, breaks things down, really takes the time to add value to the ecosystem, and then there's other influencers who I'm sure you guys know and shall remain nameless that will just tell you that, oh, this year this coin is going to go to $1,000. Hey guys, here's, we don't want those guys, okay? Because all that does is attracts a bunch of moon boys and girls, moon people. It attracts a bunch of moon people who are basically going to be, filling up the chat about, when is Ergo $1,000? When is, when Moon, when Mars, when Andromeda? And those conversations are fun for about 3.5 minutes. After that, it becomes redundant, and was that Joe? Do you have more fun those conversations?
Let's just say this: I'm not convinced there aren't influencers out there who take payments in tokens and then dump on communities. They're like, hey, everybody, buy, and then it's like, give me my exit liquidity.
Yeah, I do not trust. I don't want to deal with any influencer at all who will tell you, who basically will act as a snake oil salesman. They will tell you, buy this token, you're going to be a millionaire. Anytime somebody tells me to buy a token because I'm going to be a millionaire, they go bye. Say bye, thank you. Go. It's okay. I don't need. I don't need dreams of stupidity. My head is filled with junk enough. Bottom line, we don't want those kinds of influencers. They might have hundreds of thousands of followers, but it's not about quantity, it's about quality. We want to have quality people join the community. We want people that are going to be adding value to the community, building within the ecosystem, and not just wanting us to pump and ship Ergo and to get it up to some crazy dollar amount. It would be nice, but if it happens inorganically, will go down as fast as it goes up. Yeah, it happens. It'll pump and then it'll dump. We need to have a sustainable move. We need to sustain TLV. We need to sustain. We need to sustain the ecosystem. We need to sustain value of the ecosystem, and that only happens when you introduce quality into the ecosystem over quantity. So, long story short, we are working, and I am working with several quality influencers to try and promote Ergo. Again, this is something that needs to be negotiated. Not everybody has their ways. Okay, it doesn't mean that we're gonna, we're paying people off. It means that we need to talk about, okay, so exactly why, because a lot of the good influencers will want to be convinced, why is this a good project? And some of them, they already know Ergo and they love Ergo, but then they'll tell me, Dan, I love Ergo. It seems like a really cool project, but I just don't know enough about it. I mean, I see, the community is really cool. Alex is, he's probably sent to us by aliens. It's cool, aliens. Oh, you can't see my arms. Aliens.
Maybe.
Aliens. Yeah. But it needs to be understood. It needs to be understood by these guys, and these are the guys that we want to attract to the ecosystem, that will understand why Ergo, and they will be Ergonauts, and they will go forth and they will speak of Ergo to their community in the right way. They're not just going to say, "Hey, Ergo, cool, buy more." Okay. Yeah, you were saying something, Joe.
There's a lot of sketchy bullshit in the crypto space. If you just call a spade, there's a lot of sketchy stuff where it's like, we're going to go, past the moon to Mars to, Andromeda and get our space Lambos. And, it's software and distributed systems. There's a lot of nuance between good projects, I think. But I don't know. We got to avoid people that are just going to dump on the community anyway. And there's a lot of that out there.
And look, we have those in the Cardano community. Okay, we got these guys that I see on Twitter all the time. You know who you are, and they're just gonna Cardano is gonna be, click like if you want Cardano to be $30 or something like that. Why? What is clicking like on your tweet going to do for increasing the value of the ecosystem? That sounds really stupid to me. I don't want that at Ergo. I don't want look, people are free. If you want to tweet about stuff like that personally, look, I'm going to judge you. That's your prerogative. Okay. But if we're talking about bringing in quality influencers into the ecosystem, I don't want somebody out there with 100,000 followers saying that they're on they're an Ergonaut, and then it's like, click if you want Ergo to be $100. Okay, can I also have some Lamborghinis and muffins with that? So it's it's like I said, it's about quality and not quantity.